Okay. My name is Alan Palozzi. I am in Cegid since several years, and my function is to be a consultant, technical pre-sale consultant, and I'm specialized on technology topics and on security topics. And Sam, can you present you?
Yep. So Sam Watson, again, expert consultant, pre-sales on all of our SaaS solutions from a functional point of view.
So the agenda that we will propose to you is to first to explain what is the challenge of the security in the SaaS, the business value added and the technical value added, and we finish with the Q&A session. In terms of challenge.
Yeah, so in terms of the challenges facing us with SaaS and retail, obviously more and more businesses are spending money on security and defending against cyber attacks. The SaaS solutions have to be fully available 24/7, so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And obviously in retail, that's really key, especially with global brands that are open all around the world at all times. And we're also looking to obviously reduce the total cost of ownership, so reducing our infrastructure pricing to make sure that we can get the most cost-efficient solution. SaaS does let us benefit from latest innovations and more frequent updates. The Cegid SaaS solution means that your updates are more frequent and you don't accumulate technical debt, so you're in a more up-to-date version, which is obviously great for benefiting from the latest innovations and the latest products. Obviously need to focus on the different business challenges and make sure we're up to date with the latest trends and challenges that we face in the retail market. And from a sort of green impact, green strategy point of view, making sure that we make sure that our SaaS has a sort of green approach, so that we optimize energy consumption, we monitor different regulations, and ensure that we're as green as possible and ecological as possible with our SaaS solution.
Okay. In terms of top security statistic to keep in mind, we have show you some statistic here. So 24% of cyber attack is targeted retailer today. It's more important than on other industry. The two different data is the two different cyber attack concern all attack about the customer data, and the second is what we call the ransomware attack. In terms of worries, 34% of retailers said that cybersecurity worries were their primary inherence before to move into e-commerce. Same things, they said that cyber attack or privacy breach were most serious digital threat, and the digital motives drove cyber attack in 99% of retail cyber attack. And so when data is compromised in an attack, there is 42% for payment information and 41% to personally identified data. So this is a general statistic or worldwide statistics in terms for the retail market. In terms of green approach today for Cegid, it's very important. It's a new feature that we want to explain to you because all our architecture, all the solution, we are build this solution to help you to do a better monitoring also all CRR regulation. So CRR is corporate social responsibility, and we have. For this, we have built Cegid Retail architecture on the SaaS that is optimized. And we have built this architecture with, of course, our partner, which is Microsoft. And on this, we will see just after that on this architecture today, the difference from the on-prem architecture that we use a lot of PaaS components that are more resilient. And of course, for the green impact, it's better. Just a few number in terms of carbon emission, for example, that we have said. So it's a statistic at the last month of August 2022. So you can see that on our SaaS platform today, we do an economization of 141% of kilometers. So it's a comparison, of course. Okay, in terms of business added value, Sam, I can let you the hand.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the business added value, so I'll talk you through some of the sort of main ways that we are adding value in terms of our SaaS solution. So the first way it would be the different configuration and web apps that are available on the SaaS solution. So again, we talked about total cost of ownership, having an application available on the web as a web app makes things a lot easier in terms of obviously hardware, and it's device agnostic as well, so it can be opened up on any different browser. The different web apps that we can go into more detail tend to be around so maybe different settings, so like your inventory tracking or new POS settings, POS extensibility, where you're configuring the solution. Localization, so for example, the French tax portal that's available as a web app as well. GDPR application, again, so a completely separate regulatory application that's available as a web app, and different functions as well that we'd use. So that come out of Y2. So maybe users and groups, company settings, and the flash report that's also available as a web app. Obviously, this is great in terms of the fact that they're modular, accessible on a browser, and have a new sort of UX and UI. So you can see the look and feel of this. The company settings obviously is slightly different look and feel from the Y2 or CBR look. So it's an easy, responsive web app where you can navigate easily, search for different settings. User management, again, very similar. You get a full dashboard with your users, and you can search, modify, even batch modify your users on here, and then obviously modify passwords, things like that. Inventory tracking, again, to set up your inventory tracking configurations, so your reference files and different devices. You can do all the setup and everything on the web app. And what's great about these web apps, I guess, is that they're accessible from browsers rather than direct from the application. So you don't have to go through the application to access them. You can go straight into a browser, and as long as you log in the authentication layer, you can access the web app directly. And the last one's the flash report, again, which is a great example of that. You can have your flash report available from the store, but you can also check that on a mobile or in head office, or as an area manager, you could be out and about and checking your flash report, checking your store performance, either across one or multiple stores, depending on what you need to look at. In terms of sort of moving on from web apps to innovation, we have new or improved products that are available in SaaS solutions. So I'm sure you've all heard about Live Store by now. So it's our omni-channel in-store experience that we can use across devices. It's completely device agnostic. It's run on a progressive web app. So whether you're on an Android tablet, an iPhone, a Windows PC, you have exactly the same responsive application that's available with the same features and same functionality across all devices. We have our retail intelligence and store performance applications, so key business KPIs that are available that help in-store users make the decisions that they need to make. So it's a suite of BI indicators and dashboards, but really focused around the in-store experience. So not a sort of not too detailed head office level, but really at an in-store level or a manager level to make that useful. Inventory tracking device, so a mobile application that allows you to manage stocks in real time. Again, connected to the database in real time, it gives you that sort of flexibility and mobility across the back end in terms of managing your stocks, reservations, e-commerce, orders, adjustments in and out, supplier returns, all that sort of thing. And store excellence, which is our last application in terms of operational excellence, so making sure that you're managing conversations and dialogue between head office and stores, operational excellence, so tasks and photos and campaigns and planning and all that sort of thing between your head office and your store. If we start with live store, so live store's a generation of collaborative applications. So there's cataloging, clienteling, the POS application. It, as I said, it lets you overcome the limitations around your OS or your devices. It's available across devices, across OSs. It's quick and easy to update and to deploy because it's just a web app, so easy to use, easy to train on, and it brings the online in-store. So it allows you to create e-reservations, click and collect, home delivery orders from your in-store POS, whether that's on a tablet, a mobile, or a fixed POS, and help the customer get the item they need, irrespective of whether it's in stock in your store, in a nearby store, or in your central warehouse. Second application I talked about, so inventory tracking, has a whole selection of features that help you manage your in-store stock processes. So again, available on Android and iOS, online and offline mode. So often in the back of house, the Wi-Fi isn't great, so it does allow you to work offline and then synchronize and come back online. Has the item cache downloaded onto it, so it allows you to continue scanning, continue creating those documents, and then come back online. And in terms of the different documents that are managed, you have your inventory count, so your physical count, cycle counts of inventory, whether that's across a whole warehouse or area management, so different zones across a stock location. Incoming and outgoing stock movements, so validation of transfer notices, delivery notices, adjustment of stock in, creation of transfer requests, so anything that's coming into your stock, or validation of those transfer requests out, sent transfers out, supplier returns, adjustments of stock out, so anything that's going out of your stock. And then a selection of different options around your web orders, so validation of e-reservations, ship from store, receiving packages and picking up packages for pickup points. It's available in 24 different languages, and then gives you that sort of flexibility to check product information, your stock, price, dimensions, photos, things like that, and sort of manage that stock and those stock flows in store. The next application is our store performance. So again, as I said earlier, it's a sort of set of key dashboards that allow you to manage your store performance from a store point of view. So maybe that's comparing products or customers or store associates, sales associate performance. It's available, as you can see, on fixed and mobile, and it's an easy to use solution that doesn't go too deep, doesn't do too much of a deep dive into the data. It's not too difficult to understand. It gives you that sort of flexibility, but at a store level, and provides you that key data to make decisions you need to make. And the last solution I want to talk to you about is the store excellence solution. So this is an operational excellence solution that helps you keep that dialogue open between stores and head office. So a dashboard with tasks that need to be carried out, whether that's campaigns or checklists of things that need to be done when the store's open, or maintenance tasks or things that need to go from store back up to head office. It gives you that two-way communication. It helps the visibility and the customer experience across the stores that you have, so that you're following the same processes and the same standards and the same experience in each different store. And it hopefully makes the lives of your team and your staff easier. It means that they're informed, able to discuss things on the Store Excellence app with head office. It gives you that sort of blog style update of news and a news feed with sort of surveys and things like that to keep you informed of what's going on and what needs to be done. And that sort of moves us nicely into the sort of go to cloud piece, which actually, as you can see from the different solutions are presented there, the idea is certainly a great shopping experience and a great sales associate experience in terms of making sure that your customers get the best experience and the solutions that you use work for them, but also that your sales associates are happy and motivated using the solutions as well, which is really what the focus is, especially with Live Store, in terms of providing that unique user experience for the sales associate as well as for the customer. But it's also improved experience for IT departments, because we're looking at sort of saving time and money in terms of shorter upgrade projects and benefiting from the latest upgrades more frequently, making sure that you stay up to date with that release cycle and you're not in an old version that you're generating frustration and technical debt. So being out of the loop and out of touch in terms of the solutions and development available. Making sure that those upgrades are more frequent and so less painful as well. So there's less testing effort and less training and upgrade effort involved. And then sort of simplifying and harmonizing the standard processes that you use to make sure that we're on a standard configuration in SaaS with an efficient and rational way of working. And then it'll move us quite nicely onto what Alan's going to talk about in a minute, which is the IT department experience in terms of delegating that security and that expertise in terms of monitoring and performance and infrastructure agility over to Cegid and to our SaaS team.
So thank you, Sam. About the technical added value. So what we guarantee, in fact, in the SaaS, the security and the availability of the solution and your data. So first, because we have a resilient SaaS architecture, then about the access and the data security. We will speak also how to manage how we manage the incident management, the incident, and to finish, I will show you different tools of monitoring and how to monitoring this SaaS solution. So today, as you know, we are present on 4 different points of delivery in the world. So we have the Europe, the US, the South Asia, and we are open since more than 1 year, a new pod in China, specifically to respond to local security law, especially for the customer data. To do this SaaS cloud, we have 2 different certification. The first certification is the 27001. This certification, with this first certification, we cover the process. We cover the process, the organization of the SaaS, and the architecture that we have. So we have a stamp that we have securized, and we have a special certification for the China part, which is the MLPS and it's to respond to all PIPL topics that are on China. So on the pod China, today we have the first SaaS editor present in China. Here you can see that we have some brands that come from Europe, European or US, but we have also some local customers, such Dyson, for example. Okay, and we are open this SaaS in April 2021. And if your customer have store in China, this solution is very interesting because it's dedicated for all China stores, and this solution cover all security topics for the China perimeter. In terms of architecture, of course, it's important. You have to know that we have several kind of component in the retail SaaS. We have a retail web app component, which is a PaaS component, in fact. And on PaaS component, you can find, for example, the authentication server. This is a PaaS component that today you don't have on on-prem architecture. This component is to secure the connection between the user and the solution. After we have, as Sam said just before, inventory tracking, GDPR, identity server, live store, flash report, company settings, so different web apps, French tax rule, and so on. But also retail connectors such Vertex or IDN, for example. So on this architecture, we have different block. Okay, we have infrastructure block to manage for infrastructure services, block for building blocks, and common component. So infrastructure services, we manage the network, the DNS, Active Directory, firewall backup, and all the certificate management. And in terms of building blocks, the building blocks is in fact for all our monitoring and tools for the exploitation. For example, for the log management, the tenant management system, and so on. And after, of course, we have a common component such as Cegid Passport, for example, data lake, the API management, and so on. So on this architecture, you benefit by default on an interesting feature. It means that on each pod, on each point of delivery, we work with 3 different data centers that are separate geographically, okay? And we use an Azure functionality that is availability zone. And with this feature, in fact, is to prevent from a failure if we have a data center failure. Okay, so with this we have an important high infrastructure SLA, and it's a great feature. After this, we have different tools, of course, to manage the different tenants that we have on the SaaS. So tenant is the customers. Such tenants is isolated from each other, okay, and we can manage the farm or a new tenant very quickly, and all this act is automated. Another interesting feature is the front door feature. What it means that in fact, if we have, for example, a POS connected in the US and your database here on the European zone, in fact, when the user connect, he will keep the fastest route to use the solution. So in terms of this feature is to optimize the latency that we can have between different points on the world. So as you know, we have different kind of customer architecture, because we have some customers that have only one database for all store on the world, and we have different customers that have a database, an instance on each data center. In terms of deployment today, all PaaS components will be now deployed in a CI/CD delivery process to be more efficient in terms of, for example, if we have a new feature on localization or on legal topics, we can deploy very quickly the new feature on the Y2, and especially on PaaS component and on the web app. So it means that in fact, if you if I can give a difference to explain I know that you know Y2 today, but the difference that we have on the web app, on the new application that is Cegid Live Store, is the same difference that you can have today between Outlook and Google Mail. Okay, so when you, for example, when Google want to modify the application of Google Mail, you don't see the difference, because when you connect, it's a pure web app application, and you don't see if something has changed or not. But we have no impact on the business, no impact on the behavior of the user. If I take the example of Outlook, it's has a Y2 front office today. So when we have to deliver new functionality, we have an update of the client, of the front office client, and so you have to stop the production to do the update. So this is the difference between Live Store and front office, and the fact to be on a CI/CD delivery process is very important for us. Of course, on the SaaS solution, what we deliver is a services that it's agile. We manage the security of the solution, the performance also of the solution, the scalability, and the service is available for 24 hours, 7 days by week. We ensure the continuity of the business. Of course, we do all the upgrade automatically. We survey the integration services. We have a specific backup policy for the SaaS, and this services is worldwide. In terms of technical view of the architecture, what are the tools that we use? Today is first some firewall. We use also different tools for the DDoS protection, for the injection detection, especially the WAF or the IPS or the EDS solution. We have reverse proxy, and all access to the SaaS are we have the traceability of all access of the SaaS in terms of customer that access, user that access to the solution, but also all the SaaS team that access to do the exploitation. You have to know that all data are encrypted, so all storage data, all disk, all storage are encrypted in our solution, and also we are on TLS 1.2 between to exchange when the user will connect to the solution in terms of the usage of the different client of the Y2 and Live Store and so on. So we do internally security audit and regular pen test, but you as customer, we can organize with you if your company have the needs to do together a pen test, and in this case we will share with you the result of the different pen test. There is a new feature also in this solution, is the federated identity management. So with this, we can federate IP users that are on your EPS today, on your Active Directory, for example, with the users of Y2, and so this is very, very interesting because you can go on with a SSO. SSO authentication. You can manage SSO authentication or multi-factor authentication also if your EPS have this functionality. All these topics about the security are on our website, cegid.com, and we have an ESP document that explain all the policy that we have in terms of security. And so you can find on this document how we do the backup, how we do the protection of the data, or our staff, the SaaS staff is dedicated, and how we manage the access to the different infrastructure, how we respect the customer data confidentiality, and so on. In terms of incident management, so today we follow the different rules that we are with the certification, with two different certifications, so the ISO 24001 and 002. Okay, and here you can find the process that we have internally. So this process is already so when we have an incident on the platform, we know which people are involved in advance, and which is the different procedure that we have to apply, and what is the different communication that we have to do with the customers internally, and so on. So all this process is already built, and your customers or prospect, if you have some question about the security point or point of data privacy, you can send a different. You can send an email with that explain your topics on these two emails. In terms of monitoring, today we use different tools. The first tools is Centrion. It's more for to manage the whole infrastructure layer. Okay, APP Dynamics with this is very interesting because we can analyze the code and the resource correlation of the solution, and this APP Dynamics today is used by our cloud architect, our R&D, and we can adapt the performance of the application. I will just after see some screen about that. And the last one is one of the other tools is Splunk. It's log management tools with we have built a lot of dashboard, and this is a very important tools because the difference between the SaaS and the on-prem, that on SaaS we have all the logs. We have the logs of the infrastructure, of the application, of the security logs, and so on. And so for us, it's very important tools because we can, and architecture, because we can be more reactive than on an on-prem solution. On an on-prem solution, when we have an issue, well, we have to call with the customers to send to us the database, but we have not all the logs that you have on your different servers, on your different layer that you use, that you are on an on-prem. And so with Splunk, we can analyze if, when we have an issue, if the issue is general or not, or is specific to one functionality or to one customers and so on. And we can go very quickly on the resolution of the incident. A few slides just to show you the different tools that we use. So this is first for the alerting tools that we have. So we monitor a lot of different KPI on our SaaS platform. This is the tools of the log management, and on the log management you can see that we can analyze, for example, the performance of a web services, of an API, and so on. We can also analyze the localization of the store and see if we have an issue on the stores, if for the performance, for example, if the latency is good or not, and so on. And this is some image, some screen, sorry, about the APM that help us to do the diagnostic. And this APM is more used by the R&D team and the SaaS team to debug. In terms of volumetry, in the last months of December, we have managed. Today we are more than 600 tenants on our solution worldwide. Okay. And for example, in December, we have managed 17 million of receipts, 110 millions of web services of API call. Okay. And more than 3 millions of file exchange. In terms of different reference, some example of a brand that we are moving from the on-prem to SaaS. So you have the different, for example, orchestra. Today we are more moving these customers. There are 115 POS, no stores. Okay, so it's an important customer that we have moved from the on-prem to the SaaS. We have also Regatta, Le Creuset in China, Agnès B, Matt Demizen. We have a lot of reference if you want to visit them to give their recs of the topics about the migration from the on-prem to the SaaS. Okay, now we have finished this session. I don't know if you have some question. You can send question on the SaaS, on the chat or on the Q&A windows. I don't know if it's all is very clear for you or not. No question? Okay. So if you have question, you don't hesitate to send us the different topics that you want to have more information. And here you can find the program of the next webinar. So the first is the Streamline Omnichannel Customer Journey, coming from come the 7th of the next week, 7th of September. The second is increase the productivity and commitment of your store teams with Cegid Retail Store Excellence. And two last webinar, manage your retail business agility with retail intelligence and get the right inventory with Cegid Retail live store tracking. So I will stop the recording.